tonight on the south today. Met Service is warning the South Island could once again begin to feel the wrath of some wintry spring weather. Christchurch's Orana Park is welcoming 5 feisty arrivals with endangered species status. And this year's Polyfest got underway, celebrating a range of Polynesian cultures. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. Met Service is warning the South Island could be in for another bout of wild weather. The service sees snow, heavy rain, strong winds and even thunderstorms could be on the table.
Snowfall covering rooftops in spring. It's been an interesting start to the season with snow to sea level last week. But it seems the South Island is not out of the chilly woods yet. The Met Service is predicting snow to 400 metres across many southern areas. There are a large number of roads which could be impacted across the south, including Dunedin's northern motorway and all of the South Island's mountain passes. Forecasters are also predicting thunderstorms for the Otago and Canterbury coasts, with potential winds up to 90 kilometres an hour, heavy rain and hail. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A sperm whale is understood to have caused the death of 5 photographers near Kaikoura in the weekend. According to the New Zealand Herald, the whale surfaced directly underneath the boat at 10 on Saturday morning, overturning the vessel. 11 people were on the boat, 6 people were thrown overboard into Goose Bay. The remaining 5 were trapped underneath the upturned hull and died. The group were members of the Nature Photography Society, with the voyage part of a 3-day field trip. Otago Polytechnic commemorated the start of Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori, or Māori Language Week, by raising a particular flag yesterday. Flying the Tino Rangatiratanga flag has been a goal for over a year in the making. The Otago Polytechnic Student Association's request was granted in June, after it was initially asked for in February last year. Raising the flag to half-mast yesterday was no accident, the ceremony marking the 50th anniversary of Māori Language Week, a karakia, waiata and impromptu haka celebrating the special occasion.
All excited because it just shows you another step that Polytech and the Runaka down here are willing to take to expand on their feelings with Tino Rangatiratanga and the Māori flag and other things like that.
The Tino Rangatiratanga flag has been flown in the past by the Polytechnic, but is now remaining as a permanent fixture. There's been some feisty new arrivals at Christchurch's Orana Park, with the arrival of 5 new Tasmanian devils. The endangered animals were transferred as part of an international ambassador program to save the Tasmanian devils.
Pendlebury, Chester Campbell, Steele, Fox and John, exploring their new home at Christchurch's Orana Park. These 5 endangered Tasmanian devils were transferred to the Wildlife Park as part of the Save the Tasmanian Devil Ambassador program. The new arrivals mean Orana Park is home to one of the largest group of carnivorous marsupials outside of Australia.
They are part of the Save the Tasmanian Devil program, which is really important. They are ambassadors for the program, which is why we've partnered with the program here in New Zealand, so we can educate people about their plight.
The Aussie arrivals were welcomed to Orana Park last week, almost doubling their devil population to 9.
They are very cheeky, wee animals, very, very inquisitive, and I'm sure that visitors will love really enjoying them, just seeing running around the exhibit, interacting with each other, and now that we have 9, they've got plenty to see.
Tasmanian devils are famous for their loud screeches. The first European settlers who heard their mysterious and unearthly screams believed them to be evil spirits sent by the devil. But in reality, those frightening screeches are actually the creature's defence response, triggered by fear and uncertainty.
Really excited to have them there, great animal to work with, very popular with our team.
Visitors to Orana Park will be able to meet the new inquisitive devils this week. In Christchurch, the South Today.
Dunedin's Returned and Services Association have honoured the passing of Queen Elizabeth II in a quiet ceremony this morning. A small group from the Dunedin RSA gathered just before 9 a.m. at the Cenotaph in Queen's Garden to raise the New Zealand flag. Past President Lox Cullis raised the flag before lowering it to half-mast, in keeping with the period of mourning much of the world is currently sharing. Current President Bob Barlin says the local RSA wanted to formally mark the end of the monarch's impressive reign.
I think it's a small way just to show our respect and the fact that we recognise her unselfish attitude to everybody and the service that she gave.
Major Barlin received his New Zealand Order of Merit from Queen Elizabeth at Buckingham Palace and says he has fond memories of meeting her. He says the Queen had a very firm handshake and you knew your time to go was when her handshake ended with a very subtle push. Members of the public are welcome to add flowers to the bunch laid by the RSA this morning. More than 90 groups are coming to Dunedin's Edgar Centre to showcase their culture. The annual Polyfest event has been impacted by COVID-19 restrictions in recent years, but mask mandates lifted last night, almost in time for the festival's opening.
Celebrating the Pacific's colourful cultures. The 29th Otago Polyfest began yesterday and is being held during Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori, or Māori Language Week. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the petition presented to Parliament supporting the teaching of Te Reo Māori in schools. During today's session at the Edgar Centre, the group from Fairfield School chose the classic tune Tu Te Mai Ngā Iwi. Organisers say Otago Polyfest is an excellent opportunity for children, young people and whānau to participate in Māori and Pacific cultural experiences. They say taking part in or attending the festival broadens and celebrates the youngsters' individual and collective cultural identities. Otago Polyfest is running until Friday. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Whai Yakane, still to come on the South Today. What does $500,000 get you for a walking track at Fox Glacier? And wisdom is celebrated at Otago University through a sand mandala ceremony.
Monday, November the 6th, 1995, and a cool, blustery breeze greets Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth and His Royal Highness Prince Philip on their arrival by Royal New Zealand Air Force 727 at Momona, the city of Dunedin's airport.
The Queen came by in a big black car and she was waving to me and I waved back.
We can't tell you what the Queen thought of our children, but they seem very happy to tell us what they thought of her.
She had a pretty hat.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Shall I make some scones?
Tēnā koe, welcome back. 3 years ago, the government committed nearly $4 million as a tourism support package for Fox Glacier on the west coast. $500,000 of that went towards a well-constructed but really walked track to Lake Galt.
This beautifully gravelled pathway through the west coast forest near Fox Glacier was recently upgraded and reopened after decades of neglect. 3 years ago, Fox Glacier's tourism business suffered a major setback when a large landslide permanently blocked the access road to the glacier. In response, the government has spent nearly $4 million from its tourist levy fund for upgrading tracks in the area to lure tourists back to Fox Glacier. It cost just $500,000 for contractors to create this high-quality 3-hour return track to Lake Galt. However, many tourists choose instead to do a similar but far quicker walk nearby at Lake Matheson.
We just decided not to do it today because we thought save time.
The Department of Conservation is eventually planning to more actively promote the walk to Lake Galt, and local Fox Glacier guide Marius Bron says it's great to have an asset for days when weather prevents planes from landing on the glacier.
I think it's part of the wider package of the area, and I think it's a great thing to support glacier tourism with other local activities, so when there's really trouble things happening up the valleys, then we've got alternate activities.
In Fox Glacier, the South Today.
A 3-week university project has been thrown into the water for a particular purpose. The Otago University hosted a sand mandala dissolution ceremony earlier this week, celebrating wisdom.
Buddhist monk Geshe Lobsang Doni created this colourful sand mandala by placing crushed and dyed marble sand into intricate patterns, all as part of a ceremony. During the ceremony, Dunedin monks blessed the sand before sweeping it up and pouring it into the River Leith. The sand mandala was put together at the university's library with this particular piece celebrating wisdom.
We chose the Manjushri Wisdom Mandala because it's a university, a place of study, where people are growing wisdom, hopefully, so that was the reason for the choice. Yeah.
Not all of the mandala was sent out to sea, with some people taking away small bags of the sand. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Met Service is warning the South Island could be in for another blast of wild spring weather in the coming days. 5 endangered Tasmanian devils are settling into their new home at Christchurch's Orana Park. And Polyfest is underway at the Dunedin Edgar Centre as students embrace Polynesian cultures. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome the editor Barry Stewart. Kia ora, Barry.
Hello, Hannah.
What can we expect in the paper tomorrow?
Well, some tasty offerings in the paper tomorrow, and the first off is our special spring edition of Fresh, which is stacked full of excellent recipes.
Gorgeous.
Food and wine information, so look out for that inside your ODT tomorrow. Mercury is planning on building a new $115 million wind farm, 43 megawatt facility south of Gore, and that is the first stage of that development. The second stage potentially is huge. It could well be the second biggest
huge
farm in the country. So that's exciting news for down south. Dunedin Public Art Gallery Society is presenting the gallery with a major Rita Angus work to mark its centenary. So that is happening this evening. And we also have a look at day one of mostly mask-free Dunedin, or world if you like. We also look at the rising stocks of lipstick. And the like. So
now that we can see it all.
Well, exactly. So we just have a wee taste of some of that.
Brilliant. Thank you, Barry.
Okay, thank you.
And time now for a look at the weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, much colder temperatures arrive tomorrow as a brisk southwesterly slowly eases over the region. Expect widespread frosts inland tomorrow night, but some cloud and breeze remaining about the coasts. Heading to the top of the South Island. Light southwesterlies and becoming fine in Tasman with Nelson heading for 13. Much the same in Greymouth too with 13, but cooler as we head down to Ototahi Christchurch with showers and 9 degrees. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. Wintry showers clearing and southwesterlies through here. Ashburton heads for 8, as does Timaru and further south in Uamaru. Westwards now to the Central Lakes, becoming fine with light southerlies in this neck of the woods. Wanaka gets up to 6, 5 over to the left in Tahuna, Queenstown, with Alexandra reaching a high of 7 degrees. Heading further south, 8 degrees all around for Balclutha, Gore and the Catlins. Expect cloud, southwesterlies and a spot of rain on the coast. Now down to the deep south. Sleety showers tonight with strong southwesterlies in Invercargill, down to just 1 degree. Showers clear tomorrow with cloud breaking late in the day, bringing a high of 9. And into Thursday, cloudy with fresh gusty westerlies up to 11 degrees. And lastly, heading to Otipoti, Dunedin. Most snow showers will clear tonight with a low of 1. Any remaining wintry showers should be gone tomorrow morning with gusty southwest winds picking up. But we'll get a glimmer of sunshine before a frost at night. The day's high will be just 8 degrees. Fine on Thursday, back up to a comfortable 13 with a bit of cloud and some westerly winds. And that's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. And you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. We'll see you again tomorrow. Ka kite a popo.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.